gaskets.
All right, we got here.
Well, you can't see shit with that light on here.
Nope.
Start over. This is the race bike flywheel. You see I got a little extra lead put in there?
A little.
Just a little. Makes the flywheel nice and heavy, like I like it.
Why do you want to put more? Why do you want to make the flywheel heavier?
Because it keeps the bike running when you're pushing all that air going down the track. Air is like going up a huge hill. So this is the wheel that we have. It doesn't come off now. Yeah, let me see your head. That didn't work either. Maybe we'll get a hammer. Now, in case you thought that this was the only thing I added, that's all lead too.
Oh, wow.
See how thick the lead is?
How much more heavier is it? You weighed it?
I don't know.
It's pretty scientific. I got it.
Well, we're going to do the same thing on this one. Got to make it heavier.
All right.
Scientific.
Yep.
I think this one's balanced out.
I wouldn't know.
Not tight enough. Same weight in there. See, this weight doesn't even fit in this flywheel. She's a little heavy on the bottom.
Oh, wow.
This is a little bit light. So that's how much we have to add. So how much do you think that is?
756 grams.
Yeah.
756 pounds.
So here's what we use on a stock Sportster.
And that's we use that to balance the wheel, a flywheel.
Yeah. A little closer.
Still heavy.
This is what you use for a big twin. Or a Sportster with a big rod. Well, obviously they didn't do a very good balance in that wheel for a big rod. So that was not set up for a race application.
That's for a doggy-ass big twin.
It was made for like a Sportster type application. Consider it's a Sportster flywheel, I guess that's why it's that way. Alright, so what we gotta do right now is, I either gotta weld a bunch of weights in here, which is called metal, or I can do like I did over here, and I can add just a little bit of lead. Like I did that.
Right there.
Just a little bit, though.
Just in a couple spots. Like
Half
here,
of
here.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't see the ones down here either, did you?
So now you can do these and this.
No, I had to put these in there to balance it. These were already in there, so I filled them. I put all those in to fill it. I filled it all with that. And I didn't fill this one because I didn't want to put that much weight in there. I had to keep it semi-close to what I
Well,
needed.
once you do that side, you're gonna be out. Got to go to a new flywheel.
Yeah, so now we got to figure out how much weight we got to add and do it. The problem is this flywheel's not made the same as that one. So I have to decide how much lead I'm going to put in here. I'm thinking I might put quite a bit. Because I like heavy. Heavy is good. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And figure out how I'm going to do that.
All right.
That was 9.4 pounds. That's a long ways from 11.1.
That one's 11.1.
You know how much lead we add?
9.4. 2 pounds of lead.
One of those.
Melt it down.
The Sportster weight, what we need to add.
Yep, there it is.
Does that come out to 11?
That's what it takes to get that thing.
This one's way down.
The thing is, that's not mass rotation diameter because the other one's a bigger diameter,
Yeah.
so it's even heavier. So we gotta figure out how we're gonna add all that in there. Right now we can add it to this line right here. I can add this much in there real easy, that height's right there. On that side.
Plenty of place there.
So we got that much here. But that's not gonna add very much weight that I need up here. I need a lot of weight on the top. So it doesn't take much to add that in there. But I'm now learning how to put big holes in here to get the weight back down because I gotta make it heavier on the top. So we gotta figure out how we're gonna do that. I'm thinking if I pour the lead in there
Pour the lead.
at an angle, see it runs off the front. So we have to put something to keep the lead from going that way. So that's why this has all these holes in here. It adds lead. And the problem is I have to cut this away to make room for my socket. See, that's what that's for?
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody added a big twin nut on there instead of a sportster nut.
Big twin.
Yeah. Damn people. Mix and match the parts again. One not Jim's crank pin that lives. Year and a half of abuse on that one. It's still going. Excuse my nuts. These have to be remade.
What are those?
Spacers.
Oh yeah.
That is a cut down big twin nut. Looks like it might almost work in there. Maybe it's a very small cut.
Don't touch that.
I guess it can't come over that lip.
Oh, look at that. It's like it's made for
There's
it.
your weight.
Yeah, there you
Just
go.
leave that on there.
Yep.
There you go.
Custom cases.
See, we don't have to cut the flywheel out. One less thing I gotta do. Alright. Let's figure out what we're gonna do here. Definitely add a bunch of weight, but see, do you need that much weight of it? If you sliced it into 1/8 increments, how many of those do you get?
Looks like about 6.
1, 2, that's only 3 on this one side. You probably get about maybe
4,
3.5,
5.
3.5 on that side. 1, 2, I don't think it's going to be enough because you still got this chunk left over here.
That's why you drill the holes.
And that's not counting what I got to drill out of here to balance it because this is really going to be heavy on this side. Okay,
After you put the weight in here, it's going to be heavy on this side?
and the weight's going to be on the whole wheel. It's still, I need to make it heavier on this side. That was the difference between this weight and this weight. You have to compensate for that much weight. The only way I'm going to do that is I got to put a bunch of big holes through here. Probably like some 1-inch holes in here, probably 3 or 4 of them. Which will obviously lighten it a lot.
Yeah, 1-inch holes.
So I need to put more weight in here to get the weight back up. Or I gotta weld some steel in there. That's what I was thinking about doing, is welding some steel in there.
Why would you want to do that as opposed to pouring lead?
Because I can put the steel thick up the flange of this. See, this here has a lip on it, so I can actually fill this thing pretty well solid. I just have to have little areas right here where I don't put stuff. So I'm thinking that might be how I'm going to do it. So maybe put like some wood washers in here or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just pour lead. Lay it on top of a flat table and just pour lead straightly into here.
Yeah.
Put a block right here so it'll dim, so it'll come up to the height of this here.
Yeah.
And I just fill it until it's up to the height of this. And that'll make this side solid, which would add the weight up on top I need, because obviously this here would be extra weight.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to do it. And I'll put a bunch of holes all the way through so it'll keep this piece from falling out. But obviously you don't want that chunk falling out.
No, you do not.
So I'm thinking at 8,500, 9,000 RPM that might make damage to the cases if that was to come out. What do you think?
Oh yeah,
It would?
I think so.
Cause the issue?
Yeah, cause a little.
It might vibrate just slightly too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have a
How fast
slight
would it be
vibration.
Dude, that when it explodes.
How fast do you think this thing's gonna go, man?
That stupid Triumph at 150. And the 500 went with 49.3.
And this is gonna be 2 cylinders,
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be
Are
single.
you still sticking with the cylinder?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to give him too much of an advantage to the guy.
Yeah.
Right. You want to take it back on a single cylinder?
Well, it is a single cylinder record.
All right.
Might as well kick his ass. But he did do 169 up on the airport. So when you get off that lousy ass dirt, get out there with some traction and lower drag, you can go a lot faster.
Mm.
Dirt is not good for traction and not good for drag. It's like trying to go through sand. It slows you down a lot.
So this one guy's kicking your ass, that's why you're doing all this?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good reason to go back.
Well, sounds like a good reason to me.
Besides, this stupid Triumph.
Yeah, because it's a Triumph, yeah.
That's,
Goddamn fucking Triumph!
Yeah,
that's enough right there.
that's almost a
fucking-
slap in the face insult.
That's right.
Yeah.
Beating up my poor little defenseless little ironhead.
Yeah.
Baby Harley.
Beating up
Baby, yeah.
baby Harley.
Chick bike.
My little one-cylinder dirt bike.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna make that work. So we're gonna figure out how we're gonna do that. All right, I'm working on my flywheel plugs here. Cutting these down on 2x4s. So basically, just to go over here and fill the hole in right here. And I'm gonna fill this thing completely full of lead, the whole surface. I'll lay this flat on the table and have these underneath. So this will keep my taper from filling up full of lead and also give me room to put a socket right here. There's going to be a nut obviously sticking right in there. So these will go right in there like that, and they'll sit in flush. So that'll be flush with the edge of the flywheel, and I push all the way down. Got a little bit of press fit on it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make another couple more of these things. So I'm going to make one for over here. I go over here and make some more for this one. So these are, this here is basically a crank pin taper on the left main. So these are all the same size. So the only thing that's going to be different is right up in here. I'll have to put probably just a light chamfer right there in the corner because the way this is cut out here. So that'll give me 2 big areas to put the socket in there with. This is quite a bit bigger than the socket, so plenty of room in here for whatever kind of socket you want to put in there. This one's been all trimmed down, but I got plenty of room even at full size. It's a lot bigger than what the socket was to begin with. So shouldn't have any problem if I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Can't find the socket. Have to use a Harbor Freight piece of crap one or something. Should still be able to work on the bike. Okay, so I'm going to go make some more of these. And then I'll put a bunch of holes through the flywheel, like this one was. So I have lead on this side. Alright, so we're up for now. Okay, here's where we're turning the wood down. So we're making up these plugs here. So a couple 2x4s. Ones without nail holes or cracks in them that I could tell. Nothing really heavy. So this is what it looks like roughly turned down round. So we'll go ahead and flip this around now and cut the other part off so it's round. Right now these jaws here aren't doing anything, these ones on the ends. Only these 4 right here are holding it. So not super secure, but good enough for wood. Just stand back. If it flings out, come after you. Don't let it hit you. So this looks like pretty good wood. There's no cracks or anything in it, so that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and continue cutting on this, and then we'll start turning this thing down to size. Still got a long ways to go to get down to that size there, so a ways to go yet. Yeah, that's how you do it. So we're roughing this in right now. I'll take Tatro small cut. See, I already got these turned around up here. So we're making this one right here. See how we're almost roughed in there almost. So after I get this here cut down to size here, then I'll go ahead and thin it up over on this other side. You can see I got to cut over half of it away there. So, alright, that's how we do it. Keep going. Alright, got the two plugs made. These two I've already put in. So they stick out the other side so you can beat them out. So they're nice and flush on this side. Lay it down flat, it doesn't hit anything. It's nice and flat, even though it's right on the edge here. It's flush. These two here are made, so I'm going to go ahead and press these down into here. Too much pressure on these, so put about a ton of pressure on it, literally a ton. Something made some noise there. Didn't have enough. Didn't put enough clearance on that one, I guess. All right. As long as it doesn't fall off, we're okay. Seems to be in there. Okay. Shims out of the way there. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty close. So that's how far off it is. Pretty close. Some a real fine file across the top here to make sure they're dead flat, and we're ready to put a bunch of holes in here. That'll be next. Alright, I got all my plugs made. Now these are the holes I've been drilling. This is the 500cc flywheel. This is our 650cc motor. So I got all these holes drilled in here for the lead to go through. This is what it looks like before I did it. This is what it looked like after it was done. So you can see how this has all had lead I had it all through here. That's the line right there. So this is a big chunk of lead added in through here. So this is the same thing here. Where they had lead all the way, this whole area through here. It's going to be all lead right up flush with this. So it's going to be 3/8 of an inch thick all through here. So all these holes here we want here so that the lead won't come out. It'll stick through on this side also. So we're going to have about an 1/8 inch layer of lead here. The height of that boss right there. From here down to here. Probably not an 1/8 inch, but good 70-80 thou. So we'll leave that in there, and then we might wind up cutting this away to help balance it. Don't know yet. Till you make one, you don't know how much you're going to have. So put a lot in. It's easy to take it out. So you can see on this one here, I went over here and cut some material away from here to balance it. So it's always easier to take it out. So we're going to go ahead and do this other one. Doing it over here in the mill. Drill bit and my big countersink here. So I'll go ahead and set this up. I'll show you what I'm doing with it. Alright, we're drilling out the second wheel here now. I modified my pattern slightly. Originally I was going to put a hole up the center here, but not enough meat. So I actually moved the hole slightly in a little bit to get a more clearance through here. Give me more strength between the pins. Between the shaft holes here when I torque everything down. But we want to keep it out as far as we can so it'll hold the lead in real good. So this is more equally spaced than what I was doing before. So you can see you get a nice decent gap through here. And when you cut the hole, it'll go right in through the rim. See how it looks there. Flowers are fairly hard. Drills don't like going through half a hole. I just drilled this one here, which is cuts through halfway through the hole right here, so they don't like doing that. That's why it was protesting so much. Oh well, protest all at once. Alright, so you can see how that hole's right there. So I got another 5 or 6 more holes to go over here on this side. Then I get to countersink all of them. I'll show you that when I get to that point. Alright, we're counter boring these holes now. We've done a few of these already. Basically got a counter bore up in a chuck here. Bring it down where it's closed. Lock it down. And crank it over here where the center line of the hole is. Get to where it looks like it's close. Get it in both directions. It's pretty close. Start it off, see what you got. Look at the edge of the hole here. It looks equal, you're pretty close. This one here, we need to go this way here a little bit. And just get a little bit like that. Back and hit it again. Take a look at it. If it looks pretty even, go with it. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it looks pretty damn close though. And I got my depth stop set right here, so we just go down until it hits. That's how you do it. So that'll give you a nice area for the lead to sink into and get a good bite. And when the lead cast is in here, this will be on both sides, so the lead can't move unless it shears off. Not likely. So we're going to basically cast it into the flywheel. If you put bolts and stuff in there, they can come loose and have more problems. But if you cast it in all one piece, it's pretty much impossible to come out. It'd have to be pretty damn bad. So I've never had it ever move. So anyway, that's how you do it. I'm going to do up the rest of these holes. I got to flip the flywheel over, flip it over this way, and do the other side. When we're all done, it'll look like this one. So back to work. Alright, I got both flywheels done now. Here's what they look like. Opposite sides. Need to do a little bit deburring right here before I pour my lead in here, but knock off the high spots. This side's gonna get flooded, but this side won't, so these burrs up here in the corner, I need to knock these down before I put the lead in there. Make sure these edges here are broken away. Don't want no stray chips in the motor. So plug's worked out pretty good there, it looks like. So these are ready to go melt some lead and pour it in there, so we'll work on that tomorrow. That's it for tonight.